Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to a very special episode of the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast. This is episode 69, How to Give and Receive. As Bill and Ted once famously replied to the question, "What's your favorite number?" 69, dude. You know I couldn't let this episode pass by unnoticed, uncelebrated, and especially since it's going live the week of the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Virtual Summit. 69 is all about giving and receiving, and so is business. Well, at least when business is being done right. Many business owners and professionals approach every conversation as a sales conversation, trying to pitch themselves or their product with the intent of getting the sale from everyone. But when you're a giver, you go into every conversation with the intent to connect and to provide support. Sometimes that means you connect and refer to another business. And sometimes that means you connect and refer them to a competitor. For example, when I was active in my direct sales jewelry business, I had a very good customer come to me and she had a request for a very specific necklace. And I knew as soon as she finished describing it, I didn't have anything in my company's catalog that resembled a necklace like what she was describing. But I did know, because I had just seen the previous weekend at a live vendor event, my friend who was with a different jewelry company had that exact necklace that was being described. So I called up my friend from the other company and asked her if she still had that necklace on hand, and she did. So I connected my customer to this other jewelry lady with a different company. Both of them were flabbergasted that I had actually, quote unquote, given up the sale. And I thought, why should this be surprising? My customer wanted something very specific and I didn't have it. Why would I try and sell her something different? But I knew we could get her that same thing from someone else who also happened to be a friend of mine. So it really was a win-win situation. And honestly, what ended up happening from that was my jewelry friend, she ended up referring someone to me not long after that because she had a very similar situation came up. And bonus, my loyal customer came back to me just a couple months later with a new outfit, a new event that she was going to. And instead of asking for a specific piece of jewelry, asked for my help in picking out what would look best, because she wanted to thank me for helping her find what she specifically wanted the previous time. And that ended up being the biggest order she had ever given me, because we created an entire ensemble and she was so grateful that she ended up getting everything I suggested for it. So when you're in that situation, sometimes in business, it means you're connecting and recognizing that you have the solution to their problem and end up selling them the exact product or service that they need. Now, imagine that only 50% of the business population were givers. Imagine if just that many were givers. That would mean there would be a whole lot more business going around. Unfortunately, it's just not like that yet. But we can change. Because being a giver sometimes means letting go of an okay prospect so that you have room in your life and your business for the perfect prospect. And when you give, this frees you up to now receive. So let me start by giving something to you. I would like to give you a free ticket to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Virtual Summit this week. On the summit, we have 36 speakers, authors, coaches, including the amazing, the wonderful Jack Canfield. Now, if you don't know who Jack Canfield is, you're probably going, who? But you've probably heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul, The Secret. He has been a part of all of those books, and he is known as the #1 success coach in the world. And he's going to be on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Virtual Summit on Saturday, March 20th. And you don't want to miss it, because it's not very often that you get to see Jack Canfield absolutely free. And bonus, many of the other speakers also have free gifts for you as well. So there's a really good chance that out of the 35 different gifts that we have for you, on top of you getting to hear Jack Canfield talking about the success principles in relation to direct sales and network marketing. But imagine out of those 35 gifts, if just one or two or three of them is that one specific thing you need in order to grow your business this year. And guess what? You can be a giver too, because when you share the link that's in the show notes for you for that free ticket, you can share that link and give to your friends and give them the opportunity to participate in this summit with you and maybe build and grow their direct sales and network marketing business as well. Because when you are giving to your friends, you also are giving to me, an audience who just might need what one of these speakers, authors, or coaches has to say. So keep in mind, it doesn't matter if you give or receive first. What matters is that you give in return. So thank you so much for being here for this very special episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast, episode 69. I'm so glad that you were willing to be here with me for this. And I look forward to seeing you, or probably more accurately, you seeing me on the summit later this week. So BDSM crew, you guys know how this goes. As long as you're not driving, grab your phone, click on the episode that you're listening to right now, scroll up just a little bit, and in the show notes is the link to go claim your free ticket. And then make sure you share that link with at least one friend. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you for checking out the summit. And I really hope to see you there. And stay tuned, because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.